In this video, we're going to continue with our alignment feature definition of GEOM underbar baseline. In this one, we're going to take a look at the linear feature symbology and how that's set up. So if we go down to our feature symbologies category, we're going to look under linear. We'll have a subfolder of alignment and another subfolder of road, and then we'll find our GEOM underbar baseline feature symbology definition. If we click on that, that will give us the properties of our feature definition. So once we have the selection from the Explorer, our selection name is going to be the name of our feature symbology definition. Then we have a category of default. The default element template, we're going to set that to linear alignment road GEOM baseline for our element template and leave that set. If we want to go down to our plan category, that has annotation groups, another element template, an arc element template, and spiral. So these will be overrides to what the default is, but we want to leave the default set, and we can assign an annotation group at the plan level for our stationing and tick marks. So if we set the element template here, it's going to override the default element template. So the element template in the plan is going to be set for our tangents, and right now that's set to a yellow tangent line. Our arc element template is set to the category linear alignment road geometry baseline curves to give a different symbology or different color for our curves. Likewise with spirals. So the spiral element template is set to linear alignment road geometry baseline spirals. That's going to give the spirals a different color. So if we bring up our element template, we'll look there. So if we look at our element template that our feature symbologies are pointing to, it's in the linear category, the alignment folder with a subfolder of road, and then we have three different element templates that are set or established in GEOM baseline. So here's our original. So there's our tangent. Everything is set to bi-level with a level of RD underbar baseline. Our curves, the level is the same, RD underbar baseline, but we specified a different color instead of bi-level at the element template level to describe, or for the GEOM underbar baseline curves, we established the levels to be the same name, but the color is different, so the different symbology of how it's going to look in a different view. And then the line styles and weights are set to bi-level. If we take a look at the GEOM baseline spiral, the level is the same, the color is red, so we set that to a different color to determine what our symbology looks like for our curves. And that's to be red, every line styles are bi-level, weights are bi-level. So now if we go to our profile intersection, we've set an element template there, and that category is going to be modeling point and intersecting profile. What this element template will do is if we have two alignments that are crossing each other in the profile view, it will give us a dot at that intersection and define in our profile view. That moves us on to the 3D tab. That has two categories. It has an annotation group. If we wanted to annotate in our 3D model, we could assign that just like we did in the plan, the annotation group. Annotation groups will be talked about in another video series, and then we have an element template that's going to define how that line is going to look like in the 3D view. We want to define an element template for our 3D as well. And if I look at my 3D view in view 2, we notice that the 3D view looks different than the 2D view. We can distinguish different element templates to visualize the lines differently in each of them. And then we have the dynamic cross-section category for crossing point element templates. We could define a crossing point. This can be a cell like center line or baseline of how that will look in cross-section views or dynamic cross-section for our center line or baseline. Feature symbology for our GEOM, we went over a category. So the selection is going to be the name of the selection. The default element template, we'll assign that. In the plan category, we have annotation groups, element templates, an arc element template, and spiral, and we'll set all those, and these will be overrides to the default. And then we have a profile intersection tab, and we have an element template that needs to be set there as well. And then in the 3D element template or 3D tab, we have an annotation group that can be assigned, but you also have an element template display the symbology of how it will look in a 3D view. And the dynamic cross-section tab or category, we have a crossing point element template as well. So that is the linear feature symbology.